Hey, welcome everybody to another fantastic episode I've got planned for you of the Freedom Mastery podcast. And today it will be a bit different. It will be a little bit tougher. It will be a bit more motivating because yes, I do care about people's success. Yes, I do care about people succeeding, going forward, progressing every single day. And sometimes I really don't care if I say something that can hurt somebody. It might hurt somebody's feelings as long as it helps somebody to grow, to scale, and to make progress in their life. That's what I care about the most. And please do not take it personally. I love you and I come from a place of genuine help and willing to see you succeed. So please take it seriously. Do not take it offensively. And I guarantee that if you take this into account, you will see tremendous amount of success in your life, in your rent-to-rent business. Subject for today is the raw truth about success in rent-to-rent. And what I mean by saying the raw truth, I will go deeply into this in this episode of the Freedom Mastery podcast. So please stay with me because I'm going to be giving at the end of the episode 3 tips that, in my opinion, will make a tremendous difference in your success, in your day-to-day activities that will lead you towards your final success in your rent-to-rent business. But before I go into this, let me take a step back and bring up a story of myself of somebody who was looking for a success in rent-to-rent, myself looking for a plan to succeed in rent-to-rent business, looking for a blueprint, okay? That was over 3 years ago. And yes, I remember myself being still in my full-time job, having big dreams about being successful in rent-to-rent, having big dreams about achieving the level of success that some of my colleagues were already achieving, and having coaches and people around me telling me that yes, you can achieve this and yes, you can achieve that. I was very, very hungry of success. And at that time, I have to admit, I was in a place where I thought I have to learn everything in order to be successful in this strategy. I need to know every little bit about rent-to-rent in order to go out and impress people. I thought at that point that I have to impress people with my knowledge, with my professionalism, and before I know everything, I should not even go out to the marketplace. How wrong was I? But we will get to that point as well. After a few months of doing it, I realized that there is something I'm not doing right. Clearly, months have been passing by, and I still didn't have my first deal. And according to other people who were telling me that if you apply what I know, you will have your deal, I still didn't have it. Something was going wrong. I had to figure out what it actually was. The problem was that I started questioning myself about what I do is actually right. I was questioning my own capabilities. I was questioning my professionalism, my knowledge about rent-to-rent, and that, my friend, is not helping you in growing your confidence, growing your productivity, and even your mission. At that point, I was questioning my mission about rent-to-rent. Am I doing the right thing? Is this thing right for me? Am I really coming from a place where I genuinely want to provide people with good quality accommodation? Because if I could, then I should have some rent-to-rent deals already behind my belt. Again, you don't want to be in a place of accusing yourself of not having the right mission or not being confident enough. This is where me and my good wife sat down, and at that point, seeing that I really want to make this work, we started putting some numbers together. We started thinking about how we can make this work for us. And this is where the decision was made. I decided that I'm gonna completely quit my full-time job after 8 years of being in the same company, aerospace company. My position was absolutely brilliant. For many people, they would not even touch that position. Production engineer in aerospace business. You might think, why would you even leave and quit that job? Full-time position, so safe and so promising for the future. Yes, a lot of people would, but not me. I knew that I want to have something different in my life. In order to create different outcome, in order to change something in our life, we definitely need to create a different action plan, right? Different action means different results, different outcome. That's what I wanted to create. So me and my wife, we made a bet that I quit my job and within 6 months, I'm going to replace my income completely with rent-to-rent. And now I could completely dedicate 100% of my time towards that success, towards this goal. And I took that challenge on. It was stressful, but at the same time, I knew that this is the right step for me in order to succeed. We also took some numbers into account, and obviously my wife was working at that time, so yes, we could afford for me not to work, and even if I didn't generate any single penny, we would still be okay. So we could afford doing this, and that's why making decisions should be based on facts and figures rather than emotions. Okay, but we made that decision. So I put my notice forward. I was even like chasing another landlord, and I had a deal in a bag. It was a 6-bedroom HMO with 6 en suites. So I was like in a good place to begin with. Unfortunately, 2 days before picking up the keys, the landlord said that he can no longer go ahead with the deal. I was gutted at that point. I thought that everything is ruined and I'm starting from scratch, and perhaps I should even withdraw my notice. But then very quickly, I came to the conclusion that if I do it, I'll end up with the same outcome that I was generating for every single day up to that point in my life. For the first time in my life, I was facing new opportunity, new challenge, and new potential outcome that I wanted to create for me and my family. So why would I give up at that point? So I was like, no, the notice stays in place, and I'm going with full throttle to chase my dreams, to chase my goals. And that, for me, was a true breakthrough moment, because I knew that 100% of my capacity, capability, energy, effort, everything I had to go into this one thing. And this is where the real change started, because I started seeing some tangible results, more viewings. I was submitting more offers. I was meeting more people in the industry. And all of a sudden, I was making progress. Like within the first month, I already had my first rent-to-rent deal in my bag. So what was different? Because I don't think it was the time. It was actually the commitment that now I have to make this work. Beforehand, I was in that place of comfort that even if I don't secure a deal, I will still be okay because I'm still generating income in one way or another. That is a very bad place to be in. I mean, do not get me wrong. I don't want you to quit your job in order to start succeeding in rent to rent, but that was certainly myself. That was me making excuses and thinking that if I spend more time on educating myself and learning the strategy, becoming more professional, that's what's going to bring me the deals. How wrong was I? Because that's truly not where the deals are coming from. The deals will only come from the action. Action should be based on your theory, on your knowledge. But if you become very knowledgeable and you don't apply the action, guess what? The outcome will be still very, very miserable. So that for me was a great change. And that brought me to a conclusion that my last months were not successful because I was prone to making excuses for not taking enough action and making excuses that if I spend time on my course and learning things, this will truly make a difference. We all know that it was not making a difference in my case, and it will not make a difference in your case as well. So what is more important than actually learning? More important is actually implementing. If you're learning, that's great. You need to be an expert in your field. You need to be professional. Absolutely, I agree. But if you don't implement it at the same time, then you will end up spending weeks and weeks and weeks on learning something. But if you don't implement, then guess what? Nobody will even know that you exist. That's the place where you don't want to be. You cannot be if you want to truly succeed in rent to rent. So, 3 points here. It's not okay to take a break. It's not okay to focus on tomorrow instead of today. It's not okay to call it a day if the target is not met. Hey there, I'm getting inquiries from people asking for help with their rent-to-rent business in order to start or grow it to 6 figures in profit. The best way to get hold of me is to text me on 075 22 571 026. That's 075 22 571 026. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and I'll help you with whatever you need. Now let's get back to the video. We all have different targets, right? We all have different targets, and we should have them daily, weekly, monthly, 6 monthly, and so on and so on. If our target for today is to make 15 connections, 15 new connections, and you didn't take it, you didn't make it, then guess what? It's not okay to take it to the next day. And I understand that right now. You might not like what I'm saying, but I'm telling you, it's not okay, because we live in a society where making excuses is absolutely fine. And a lot of average people make those excuses. I was that average person. I was making excuses. I was thinking that I'm taking the right steps, but clearly I was not, because if I did, then I would have a lot of rent-to-rent deals before I even quit my job. But the wake-up call for me was when I quit that job and I started taking more action, because now I could focus on it 100%. I started seeing things clearly. That's what made a true difference for myself. So the bad news is it's not okay to make those excuses. It's not okay not to focus on it today. You only have today. Do not think about tomorrow. Do not think about yesterday. Focus on today. That, my friend, is a message for you today. I didn't have anyone to hold me accountable apart from my wife. And today, you can either have a coach or a mentor who's going to hold you accountable, and that person will truly push you forward. Or it can be somebody from your family, and that's what I did. Like, I used my wife to push me forward, and my wife, she tried to be a bit gentle with me, and I told her, do not be gentle on me. If you see that I'm not doing something I should be doing, by all means tell me that. Kick me in my butt and push me forward every single day if you see that I'm not doing the right things. Thankfully, she didn't have to do it very often, although I remember I had some moments of doubt, and I still had those moments where I just thought about pulling myself out. My wife would not allow me to do that right at that point, and I really thank her for that. I am grateful that I had her in my journey at that point, because without her, I definitely would not make it. So another point here is take it seriously and have somebody who's going to hold you accountable. Ideally, somebody who's in that business already, a coach, a mentor, an accountability partner who's also doing rent-to-rent. That, my friend, will make a massive difference for your business. So, as I promised you at the beginning of the show, I have top 3 tips that I want to give you and I want to share with you for your rent-to-rent success. Point number 1, it's not okay to slow down. If you think that it's okay to slow down and take more action tomorrow, remember what I said before. It's not okay to focus on tomorrow. If you've got a target to meet today, then no matter what, you have to meet that target. Do not think that it's okay, because it's not. I'm telling you this right now. And if you want, you can imagine me holding you accountable for your actions, right? If you want me to hold you accountable, contact me. Perhaps we can work together on your business. But hey, it's not okay to push things forward for tomorrow. As an essence of this point, I want you to take 100% responsibility for your actions. And if you didn't take the right actions for today, you didn't meet the targets, take full responsibility of it. And you even should feel bad about yourself. Tomorrow is another day. So pick yourself up and catch up with your target for the week. Point number 2 is I want you to reinforce your own goals by simply asking somebody and telling somebody who's ideally not part of your family, maybe a friend, maybe a neighbor, somebody who will listen to you, somebody who you can tell that your goal is to secure a rent-to-rent deal or build a rent-to-rent portfolio or create that much income from rent-to-rent within the next 12 months. Whatever your goal is, share this with somebody else, okay? Somebody who's going to listen to you, and he will hold you accountable for it. Because guess what? If you make a promise to yourself, it will never be as strong as if you make that promise to somebody else. Because now you made that promise to somebody else, you now have to make it work, not just for yourself, but for them. You don't want to look stupid. You don't want to look like somebody who said something and didn't deliver. So by doing this promise, you're going to apply a very positive pressure on you, and you will be taking more action and you will meet your daily goals. And finally, point number 3 I want to give to you today is reward yourself for those micro actions. If you made a very good week, if you had all the targets met, you made some offers, you got an offer accepted, or you picked up keys to your first rent-to-rent property, that's great. Reward yourself for that. It could be taking your family to a restaurant. It could be booking a holiday in a perfect destination for you guys. The bigger the goal achieved, the bigger the reward should be. I'll give you an example, because I made a decision that if I replace my salary within my rent-to-rent business, then we're going to be getting another car. Okay, so that was a pretty big thing for us, but it only came when I hit that magic number and I replaced my previous salary from my previous workplace. So that for us was a massive thing, but I also was more inclined to work towards that goal because I knew that at the end of it, there is a reward. So do not forget about rewarding yourself for micro wins, but also those big goals achieved, because this is where it really makes sense. At the end of the day, you're starting this rent-to-rent business to create a better lifestyle for you and for your family. So why not to reward yourselves? Why not to get that lifestyle as soon as you start hitting your first success? And all of this is wrapped up by me thanking you for listening to the episode, for listening to the Freedom Mastery podcast. I really hope that you take into account what I say, because those are the things, this is my experience. I'm giving you my experience and my knowledge on my hand, so you can really just come and grab it and apply that into real life. And if you feel that I could be the person who can really take you to the next level, if you feel that my knowledge, my experience and my expertise can really get you much quicker to your goals in rent-to-rent businesses, I would be absolutely honored for you to reaching out to me and letting me know that you're looking for that help, and I'll have a conversation with you so we can see if we can work together. I really, really hope that we can make this work. I really, really hope that you can make this work for yourself and for your family. It made a massive difference to me and to my family. Now it's your turn to make a huge change in your life. I cannot wait to meet you and see you in the next episode of the Freedom Mastery podcast. And as always, please share it, like it, subscribe to the show, so we can create more of this content and we can invite more interesting guests into our show. And until next time, see you later. God bless. Bye-bye.